Beyonce, Beyonce, Beyonce. The global icon, known for her mesmerizing voice, captivating performances, and empowering presence, is not one to shy away from exploring new horizons. From ruling the music industry to commanding the stage, Beyonce has consistently pushed boundaries and redefined success. Now, this formidable force is stepping into the world of business once again, this time with her highly anticipated hair care line. But as we examine Beyonce's past business ventures, it becomes apparent that success hasn't always come easily. With the history of both triumphs and failures, the question lingers: will her new hair business soar to glorious heights, or will it stumble along the way? Okay? Now, today we embark on a journey to explore the past, the challenges, and all of the amazing things that has happened in Beyonce's business world, and also the not so good things, and just analyzing Beyonce as a businesswoman. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, when I think of Beyonce, I think about the amazing stage presence, the dancing, the singing, the iconic hits, but I don't really think about the business Beyonce in terms of her being an iconic business owner, owning a brand that makes hundreds of millions of dollars, maybe even up to billions of dollars like Rihanna. I just don't look at her as a businesswoman when it comes to her own personal brand, because she doesn't really establish herself as a business owner in the world of entrepreneurship. But Beyonce definitely has dived into business, which makes me a bit concerned as to why I don't look at her as an entrepreneurial woman, because she does these things. Let's go ahead and get started with House of Darion. House of Darion was introduced in 2006 with the tagline, "Where the sidewalk and catwalk meet." The brand aimed to blend elements from different eras, including the 70s and the 40s, with a mix of hip-hop and feminine styles. It featured casual wear like sweatpants and embroidered hoodies, and it also incorporated details like fine fabrics, which was inspired by Beyonce's grandma, okay? And that was what the House of Darion was basically after. It was basically inspired by Beyonce's grandma, aka Tina Knowles' mother. Now, the brand was not really, it didn't really go far, okay, to say the least. Now, House of Darion was something that everybody didn't really like. Now, of course, the Beyonce fans, the Beehive bought it. Beyonce fans are going to buy anything that she sells. She could be selling, air in a bag, and the Beyonce Beehive is going to buy it. So, for a while, House of Darion was bought by, the Beehive. But it just kind of seemed like House of Darion had no specific person in mind. It seemed like they were trying to be for everybody.
New, fresh brand for the younger woman, the trendy woman, the working woman. What did
They cater towards the teenage market. They cater towards the older woman market. They also cater towards women who also are into the urban outfit type style. So they had too many directions when trying to start the House of Darion, and it just didn't really work out. Now, it had great intentions behind the brand. They wanted to bring clothing and luxury clothing pieces to the general public for a decent price. But the problem that everybody had was they felt like the clothes looked tacky. They felt like they had nowhere to wear the clothes to. And the clothes just didn't really have a direct motive when it comes to being on the person's body. It just seemed all over the place. And that is also something that we're going to talk about later on with Ivy Park. But back to House of Darion, the clothes just seemed like something that only Beyonce could wear. Only Beyonce could wear these pieces that House of Darion was making. And House of Darion didn't even last a decade. It was closed and shut down in 2012 after a terrible run in the fashion world. It just did not work commercially. Now, moving on to 2016, we have Ivy Park. Now, Ivy Park didn't really start off as what it was today. It was just a activewear. It was some calm clothing. It had t-shirts, parkers, sweatshirts, sports bras, leggings, tanks, and it was just a calm brand. Now, Ivy Park was initially launched with the Topshop owner, Sir Philip Green, and it was a collaboration. It was something that Beyonce and the Topshop owner said, you know what, let's come together and make some clothes, okay? And the clothes, in my opinion, were kind of mediocre. Nothing really stood out to me. I never saw anybody wearing the Ivy Park pieces in person. The only thing I can really remember was Beyonce wearing the Ivy Park headband every time I turned around. And that's all I could think about was just the words, was Ivy Park. And that was the only thing that was on the shirt. So keep this in mind, because Ivy Park was not what it was at first, okay? Now, when Ivy Park had first launched in 2016, the clothing line had sold out in minutes. It seemed like Ivy Park was going to be the next big thing, and Ivy Park was going to be a brand that everyone was going to love. But unfortunately, Ivy Park didn't really keep that same momentum. For about a year, nobody was hearing about Ivy Park. And shortly after that hiatus or break, there was a announcement that Beyonce is cutting ties with Topshop, aka Philip Green. And Philip Green was accused of harassment and racism and just harassing women and things of the sort. And that's when Ivy Park and Philip Green's collaboration, they split. They were no longer collaborated together. And for a while, it was just crickets. We didn't hear anything about it. And in my opinion, I think this was a great move for Beyonce. The fact that she split ways with somebody who was supposed to be, you know, your partner, and they're not holding up to what the brand's legacy is for women, it just sounds a bit like, hey, why are you even having this business in the first place? So I'm glad she did that. It really saved the entire brand at the time. Fast forward to 2019, and it seems like Ivy Park was about to be on top again. The athleisure brand Ivy Park collaborated with Adidas on April 4th of 2019, and it seemed like everything was going well. They came together to give Beyonce full creative control. So Beyonce didn't get bought out by Adidas. No, it was a collaboration. And the fund with Adidas was able to help create more intense, higher scale projects and clothing lines. When this was announced, people were excited. The Beehive was just going crazy, as they always do. And ever since then, we've been seeing every other season, every other month, there has been Ivy Park drops. Celebrities were getting their boxes. I remember it was a big deal if you were getting a PR box from Beyonce and the Ivy Park brand. It was a big deal. Ivy Park was really that girl in my head. I thought that Ivy Park was just this thriving business, although I never seen anybody in person wearing Ivy Park. So in my head, I thought it was big, but then again, I didn't really take into account that nobody's wearing this in person. So it must not be that big. It must not be that popular as things seem to be. And one of the reasons is because the only thing holding up Ivy Park was Beyonce. If you can only rely on the success of the celebrity who owns the business, your business will not thrive, only because it doesn't stand on its own. It only stands on the name of the artist or celebrity or public figure. And that's not really smart, because when Beyonce doesn't want to sit on Instagram and post her Ivy Park campaigns anymore, and it's just not going to sell. Simple as that. But moving forward, let's get into 2023, where we got the announcement that Adidas and Ivy Park are splitting, and things were not looking great for the revenue side, the sales side, and it was just not doing well at all. After selling $93 million worth of Ivy Park merchandise in 2021, the sales have last year fell to $40 million, which was actually well below the $250 million projected by Ivy Park, which is a pretty low result. If you're expecting $250 million and you can only do $40 million, yeah, I'm not surprised that Ivy Park is no longer in business at all. But many of the reasons as to why Ivy Park was not really thriving was because, like I just mentioned, the reliance on Beyonce. And Ivy Park also seems to not have a direction as to where the clothes are going to be worn to. People were saying that the clothes are too nice to wear to the gas station, but they're not nice enough to wear to a business meeting. And they just don't really fit anywhere. For example, the outfits, you're wearing workout shorts with a coat and heels. Who's wearing that? And where? I mean, maybe it's a brunch, but who wants to wear a coat to brunch? Unless it's December. Hey, but if it's December, you're wearing shorts. So there's no correlation as to who can wear this outfit, which then brings us back to the point that only person who can wear these clothes are Beyonce. It just seemed like these clothing brands that Beyonce has made in the past are only just clothes that Beyonce or any other celebrity can wear, not just clothes for the average person, which is something that Kim Kardashian has done well with in her Skims brand. She's not selling over-the-top clothing pieces that are just coats and activewear. No, she's selling t-shirts, underwear, and just everyday essentials, and things like that are able to be sold because every woman can buy them and everybody can wear it. You don't have to be a maximalist to put on the clothes that Kim Kardashian is selling. And Ivy Park just missed the mark completely with that. But I do think Ivy Park could do a comeback. They could do a comeback. But I don't think Ivy Park and Beyonce are interested in doing a comeback simply because it seems like Beyonce is going to be launching her hair care line or hair care product or collaboration with a hair business. When I think about Beyonce, I don't really think about her hair like that. I mean, we all know Beyonce has the iconic honey blonde hair, and that's what we know her for. But we don't know her for having, just this amazing hair that everybody wants to have. And it kind of leaves me skeptical as to what business brand is she going to be doing in the hair industry. Now, her mother did own a hair salon, which, Beyonce has a lot of knowledge with that, and she's going to have a lot of help in, source and, backing and industry help with her mother because she's involved in that. But I just don't think that a hair care line is personable to Beyonce in any way. We don't hear her talk about her hair. We never heard her talk about her hair in interviews unless it was just about, the color, her iconic blonde hair. But other than that, it just seems like this next hair care line business is just a cash grab and her trying to escape the music industry like Rihanna did. Simply because Rihanna doesn't have to get on stage ever again because her lines are doing amazing. But does Beyonce always have slayed hair? Yes. Does she always have the long honey blonde? Yes. But I just never knew her to be that passionate about hair or anything like that. It just doesn't seem genuine all the way. But I don't know, maybe this hair care line may be successful because it's something that women, have, and women and men have hair, but mostly I think it's going to cater towards women because obviously everything that she's done in the business world has been catered towards women so far. But I don't know if it'll be as successful. I just need the hair care line to not be so heavily reliant on Beyonce and just strongly reliant on what Beyonce posts on Instagram. With Ivy Park, it was always new drop, new drop, new drop. And the only time you would hear about the drop is if Beyonce posted about it. So that's that. Beyonce isn't a bad businesswoman all the way around. She just hasn't found her bread and butter when it comes to running a business. She hasn't found something that really works for her and is highly profitable. But maybe this next hair care line may be it. But I don't know. It's all up to the people. It's all up to whether or not the brand can really resonate with people, not just Beyonce fans, not just the Beehive. It has to resonate with the general public. You have to be able to just see this brand and be like, oh my gosh, that's the hair care line, not that's Beyonce's hair care line. But hey, I don't know. What do you think about this? Let me know your opinion down below in the comment section. What are your genuine thoughts? I would love to have a discussion with you in the comments. And yes, this is not a Beyonce slander video, so if you're a hater, go away. This is just an analyzation of Beyonce's businesses and what she has going on in her business life. Beyonce, the performer and creative, are two different people than the businesswoman. Yes, she does dive into her creative with her business side, but they're two different people, honestly. So that's my opinion on that. Let me know your opinion down below in the comment section. We can go ahead and discuss that. Be sure to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.